lots of kids. We're going to have it by, we're going to have close and open the ark by committee with all our little guys. All right, anybody want to light some candles? They're over here, Gavin. You want to light some candles before you sit? Somebody? Anybody? By themselves? As a group? I don't really care. We had like we had a quartet last time. We can get a duo this time. We had a trio the time before. So we're gonna go ahead and light our candles as we turn to page 4 if you'd like to follow, and we rise where you will find, if you're able to, as you find the blessing for the candles. As Linda and Linda. It's the Linda duet. Oh, now they're going to confuse the issue with a quartet. We're back to the quartet again. We joked, how many people does it take to light candles? 4 good ones. We got to have a practice beforehand, so you're all on the same notes and same tune. That's pretty funny, actually. That was really good. Last time it worked out. You guys somehow it all like as though you had practiced it. I don't know. This time, well, it's done. The deed has been done. Welcome in Shabbat. So we're going to turn to page 5. And those of you who are returning from camp and summertime visiting and having fun moving here, Ben in the back, we're going to need your help with a little ruach, okay? So I expect that we need some help with a little, bring a little summer spirit our way, because we've been without most of you for a good part of the summer, and it's time to increase the spirit, the ruach, a little bit. So page 5, you will find Shalom Aleichem, as we all join together, welcoming in Shabbat together. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShared, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We'll turn to page 10 as we join together Yedid Nefesh, our hymn that kind of sets the framework for us enjoying Shabbat as a taking a breath, feeling that second soul, that soul of Shabbat, as they say. Page 10. Yedid Nefesh Av HaRachaman Mishach Avdach El Ritzonach Yarutz Avdach Kemo Hayah Yishtachaveh Mul Hadarach Ki Erav Lo Yedidutach Minofetzu v'chol tam. Yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai dai dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai dai dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai, yada dai dai dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai. Page 11. There you will find the formal beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat, our service welcoming in Sabbath with psalms and songs. We join together. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, ladonai. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, ladonai. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, nekadma fana bitoda. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, bizmi rok naria lo. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, ladonai. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, ladonai. Ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol kol Elohim asher yedov v'achrei haaretz v'tov. We conclude the psalm over on page 12. Arba'im shana kuhut bidor va'omar amtoe levavhem v'hem lo yadu rachai asher nishbati v'yapihi im yevon el menuchati. Page 14. We join together by the arrow as we celebrate Shabbat as the heavens and earth rejoice as well. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, yiram hayam, yiram hayam, umelo, oh, yiram hayam. Yiram hayam, yiram hayam, umelo, yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Ya'alo sadai v'chol asher bo, az yiranenu kol atzei ya'ar, lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel b'tzedek v'yamim b'emunato. You'll kindly turn over to page 20. There you will find Romamu, the words ending the 99th Psalm as we lift our voices high. Page 20 by the arrow. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lehar kodsho. You'll kindly turn to page 21. Over on the left side of the page, you will find an interpretive selection of the Mizmor LeDavid prayer here. That is the 29th Psalm. And in the 29th Psalm, we kind of seek to find God's voice in the world. And it's a wonderful theme for this Shabbat because that's actually, we're going to talk more about it tomorrow, but that is one of the charges we find in the Torah reading is to take the time to listen to Kol Adonai, to find the voice of God in the world around us. And so let's read on the left side. We've done this a couple times. The left side where the Hebrew begins, it's a interpretive translation of the text that we'll read in a minute, or that we'll sing on the right side. So left side by the Hebrew, if you'll read responsively with me. Kol Adonai al hamayim. The voice of God opens the gates of compassion and love. Now, far left side. Kol Adonai bakoach. The voice of God opens the gates of courage. Kol Adonai behadar. The voice of God opens the gates of shining truth. Kol Adonai shover arazim. The voice of God opens the gates of endurance and patience. Kol Adonai chotzev lavot esh. The voice of God opens the gates of splendorous beauty. Kol Adonai yachil midbar. The voice of God opens the gates of deepest connection. Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot. The voice of God opens the gates of presence. And you see the author at the bottom, Yaakov Kopo Lifshitz of Mitzrich. It's based, if you see the notes at the end, it's connected to the mystical tradition. That's the parentheses you see, the brackets, the chesed, gvura, the different elements of mystical Judaism. So it's a wonderful selection that, again, helps us to kind of listen for the voice of God in the world around us and to see what that can mean for us spiritually as well as physically even. So page 21, we have the custom of rising when we do the actual prayer. So I'll ask if you're able to rise as we join together. 21. Mizmor LeDavid, Havu Ladonai b'nei Elim, Havu Ladonai kavod va'oz, Havu Ladonai kevod shemo, Ishtachavu Ladonai behadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai bakoach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vaishahaber Adonai et arze halavanon, Vayarkidem kemo egel, Levanon v'siryon, kemo ven re'emim, Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot, vayechesof ye'arot, uvehechalo kulo omer, kulo omer kavod, Adonai lamabu yashav, vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz liamo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. You're welcome to be seated. Page 23, you will find L'cha Dodi, or hymn welcoming in Shabbat as the bride or queen into our midst. We will do the first two verses on 23, the middle verse on 24, and the last two verses on 25. And as we get to that last verse, as you always see the red note at the bottom, we will then turn and the door will magically open as we spiritually and physically welcome in Shabbat to our midst. So page 23, we join together. Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Shamor zachor b'dibur echad Hishmianu el hamiuchad Adonai echad Ushemo echad L'shem ultiferet v'litila Lecha dodi dodi Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha Ki mekor haberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof maaseh b'machshava tchila Lecha dodi dodi Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Middle 24 Hitoreri Kiva orech kumi ori uri Shir daberi Kevaronai alayich nigla Lecha dodi Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Middle 25 Yaminu semol tifrotzi V'et Adonai ta'aritzi al yad ish ben partzi v'nismecha v'nagila Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha u'v'tzahala Toch emunei am sigula Boi chala Lecha dodi Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela You are welcome to be seated. Page 27, you'll find the Psalm for Shabbat. Last week we revived a tune that we've done some months back, but we'll do it again today. It's a really beautiful tune, and there's a Tov lehodot ladonai. There's a chorus in that, and those of you who were here last week, hopefully it'll sound familiar, and those of you who weren't, hopefully you'll catch onto it as we just do something a little bit different tonight. So page 27, the Psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor shir liyom ha-Shabbat. Tov, tov, tov lehodot. Tov lehodot ladonai. Tov, tov, tov lehodot. Tov lehodot ladonai. Uzamer l'shimcha elyon. L'shimcha elyon. Ulizamer L'shimcha elyon. Tov, tov, tov lehodot. Tov lehodot ladonai. Tov, tov, tov lehodot. Tov lehodot ladonai. Lehagid baboker chastecha. Ve'emunatcha baleilot. Baleilot. Tov, tov, tov lehodot. Tov lehodot ladonai. Tov, tov, tov lehodot. Tov lehodot ladonai. Alei asor va'alei navel. Alei higayon bechinor. Tov, tov, tov lehodot. Tov lehodot ladonai. Tov, tov, tov lehodot. Tov lehodot ladonai. Kisimach tani Adonai b'folecha ma'aseh yadecha. Ish ba'ar lo yidos. We conclude the psalm over on page 28 by the arrow. Tzadik katamar yifrach ke'erez balevanon yizkeh shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun b'seva deshenim verananim yiyu lehagid ki ashar Adonai tzuri tzuri v'lo havlatabo. 29. Adonai malaki ud lavesh lavesh Adonai ositazar afti kontevel baltimot. Nachon kisacham yasponatas. Lot ba'im rabim adirei b'shpareyam. Adonai edo techanemnu me'od lehaveitcha na'ava kodesh Adonai liorech yamim. Those reciting Kaddish Tom, Mourner's Kaddish, you'll find our first Mourner's Kaddish over on page 30. As always, those reciting are welcome to rise and join with me. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divrach yirutei, bi'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehe shmei rabbah mevarach leolam ulomei olmaya, yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudisha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May be seated. Before we go into the evening service, just a couple words about the Torah reading for this week, which the Torah reading we study this Shabbat is Parshat Akev. And in it, Moses, as we did a little bit last week, is continuing to review the Israelite history. He's reminding the people of all the hardships that they've endured during their journey. And sometimes his words can be a little bit harsh, and as he's recalling the constant complaining of the Israelites as they left Egypt, as they wander through the desert, as they try to figure out what it really means to become a people. And one of those things that you hopefully are familiar with from the book of Exodus that Moses is going to review in the portion this week, this Shabbat, is none other than the incident of the golden calf. That was a stellar moment in our history, and Moses makes sure that we remember it as if we could forget. But in the book of Exodus, you may remember, we learned the building of the golden calf happened at the foot of Mount Sinai, and from the perspective of the Israelites, they let their fear get the better of them as they waited for Moses to come down the mountain and expecting the Ten Commandments, right? God's teachings. And as part of this historical review, that again we're going to find in the portion, we find a summary of that same story of the golden calf, but this time it's solely told by the perspective of Moses. Before it was kind of a narrator, it was God, and then it was kind of like almost a general narrator. Here we're going to actually hear it in Moses' perspective. And we can almost feel, if you look at the text, this is Deuteronomy 9 and following, in there, you can almost feel his desperation, you can feel his disappointment, and you get it from his perspective, his sense of perspective, that what he felt like when he saw the golden idol sitting down below as he comes down. And he declares in the text that we study, I saw how you had sinned against Adonai your God in making yourselves a molten calf. And then he describes the incident, again, from his perspective of what we're all familiar with. What happens after that? What is he's holding? The tablets, and what does he do? He gets so angry he smashes them down on the ground. So here's his words in the Torah reading this week. He says, thereupon I gripped the two tablets and flung them away with both my hands, smashing them before your eyes. So he gives the description in his own words. It's a very powerful image, and we might imagine the Israelites who were sitting around the campfire listening to Moses talk and review all of that has happened, maybe perhaps with a sense of reverence and awe as they hear this well-known story retold. Don't forget, many of the people who are hearing this, most of them are new. They are not the ones who endured the golden calf incident. They have since been born after that time. And so they are hearing it in a different perspective from the first-hand knowledge, in essence, and from Moses' perspective in particular. So after Moses breaks the tablets, what does God tell him to do? God says, you're gonna go and fashion some new ones. And again, the text that Moses relates God's instructions earlier from Exodus, he says in the text here in chapter 10, he says words that are similar that we found in Exodus. He says, carve out for me 2 tablets of stone like the first set and come up to me on the mountain. So similar language, and this is what he's saying God said to me. According to the Midrash, of course, Midrash is a commentary to try to enhance the text a little bit. God says to Moses, you are the intermediary between me and my people, right? You're the one who broke the tablets that were entrusted, so you are going to be the one who has to replace them. Doesn't really say that in the text, but that's what the Midrash says, right? That's what the voice of God is put into the text by the commentary. And the medieval commentator Ramban, whose name is Nachmanides, points out that although God agreed to write a second time, it was, again, Moses who had to take the responsibility of fashioning these new tablets. He had to do that himself with his own hands. And in this way, not only did Moses make amends for letting his anger get the best of him, but the Israelites, through Moses' hands, really become true partners with God, right? In this creation and the acceptance of these teachings. So it wasn't the second set. Before it was here the tablets go down, right? Here they are given to the people. This time, the second time, and again, we're hearing this reiteration of this whole incident in this week's Torah reading. The second time, Moses has said, okay, we got to get a second tablet. God says, go up, and this time you're going to be the carver. You're going to be the master who's going to carve out this onto these luchot, these tablets, And in this way, you are a partner with me, a physical partner in this. Now, it's a wonderful Agadah, a wonderful story that this is God's dialogue with Moses, because it relates a very interesting point. The Midrash is describing Moses taking responsibility for his action. It connects, of course, the Torah text to the legal teachings from the sages. How does it do that? Well, Moses is responsible for breaking the tablets. He had to do it himself to fix it. Now, the rabbis go on to teach in the Talmud from this understanding. This seems like a very spiritual experience, but they take a legal precedent from it, and they say, just look at what Moses had to do. He broke it, he had to fix it. He had to make it again. So when a cask or an object is broken before delivery to the buyer of the object, the middleman has to replace the object. Right? Moses, being the middleman, he broke it, he has to fix it. And from that story, the rabbis get this principle, this halachic principle, this legal principle, that if you are entrusted with something and you have an object or whatever it might be, and oops, it broke, you are the one who has to replace it as the middleman. You can't blame, the packaging from the person before, and you're not going to blame the people there. It's up to you to replace it. And it's this ancient record in the Torah that really becomes the proof text for the rabbis on how we conduct ourselves in situations like this, right? And it's a wonderful example, I think, of in this spiritual story of how we apply the values that underlie a certain event or a teaching, right, from the Torah in our everyday life. So here's the spiritual experience, this Moses. We wouldn't think we're going to think about what do we do when you have a package or you have something that gets broken. But here, that's where the rabbis take. So I would argue, has anyone ever received a package that was broken? Something inside that was broken? Whose fault is it? The shipper. Or the one who is shipping, right? Yeah. You call and UPS is responsible. Now, normally UPS it may give you the money back, but usually you call Amazon or you go to Amazon. Amazon's going to replace it, but who do you think they really blame it on in the end? And they charge somehow? They charge UPS, right? If you've ever moved, right? You ever moved and you put your stuff on, you watch the truck drive away, and then they unpack it and something's broken, what happens? Right, the insurance, right? But the insurance based on the shipper, right? The person who is doing that. So it's a very practical thing. You have to wonder if UPS or FedEx or Amazon or all of our moving companies study this text from the Torah today and the rabbinic commentary when they made their policy of reimbursing the contents of the package that might have been broken. And it's always interesting. The point is, it's interesting to see how we might take a very spiritually minded narrative, something that's really very powerful, hearing Moses' voice, hearing what the remedy becomes, hearing God say, hey, you're going to be the one that has to fix this, and putting it into a very dramatic story, but putting it into a basic legal teaching that guides our behavior and our life every day, right? Let me give you one final example. I talk about shipping, that's the idea, but there was, we had I'm sure this has happened for those of you who have kids or grandkids, right? You have a toy that belongs to somebody else, or some object that belonged to another kid, and it ended up in your kid's possession, and guess what? It got broken. Or in our case, it got eaten by the dog. So what did we do? What did we do? No, we didn't kill the dog. What did we do? We went on Amazon, we found the exact same thing, and we spent money to replace the object and make sure it got returned to the original owner, which is the kid around the corner. Right? So you might think, well, what does this have to do with practical life? It is very practical. So next time you see a Torah text, next time you think about, and especially with the story of Moses and God, know that behind the values that we're seeing, behind the narratives that we're learning, there can be very practical ways to apply it to our lives. And in that way, it's just amazing how the Torah and the values of Torah come up from these stories and from the perspective of the rabbis and really inform how we behave and how we act in our world each and every day, even in little minute and maybe very simplistic ways. So keep it in mind as we go through, and I encourage you study Deuteronomy 9 and forward. It is we'll be here tomorrow and do a little bit more studying, but it's a wonderful parsha to review, not just, again, legal pieces, We see other legal pieces in there about how we do the mitzvot, charges to observe the mitzvot. And this is one way the rabbis took that charge to observe the mitzvot and made it real for us today. So with that, I'm going to go forward into the evening service as we turn to page 39A, and we rise as we call ourselves to welcome in the new evening together. Again, keeping the values of Shabbat in mind, of joining together and welcoming in our day of rest in this way. So page 39A, we rise. Hope you will join with me. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. We continue 39A. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Umavir yom umehevi laila umavdil ben yom uvein laila Adonai tzavaot shemo el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv aravim. We join together page 40. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha havta. Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shochveinu u'v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu v'orech yameinu v'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla yomam v'layla v'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Page 41. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha havaderech uvshoch becha uvkumecha Ukshartam le'ot al yadecha, ve'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtaftam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. We read the English together in the middle of 41. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children, Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and on your gates. We turn over to page 44, top of the page, Umalchu Tov B'Ratzon, leading up to Michamocha. As always, our words that we recited and sang as we crossed the Red Sea from slavery to freedom. 44. Umalchu Tov B'Ratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe uMiriam uVnei Yisrael lechanuhu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, Nohorati lo rosefele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokeh yam lifnei Moshe, ze'elianu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar ki fa'ad Adonai et Yaakov, u'gelo mi'ad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. We join together the Hashkivenu prayer on page 45 on the left in the English, as we ask God for a sense of shalom as we end our day and begin a new one together at the top on 45. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu lechayim uleshalom me'ata v'yad olam ufros aleinu sukkah shlomecha Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukkah shalom aleinu v'yakol amo Yisrael v'yal Yerushalayim. Page 46, we rise as we join together the singing of Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael eta Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berito lam Vishamru v'nei Yisrael eta Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berito lam Beheni uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael eta Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berito lam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berito lam uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat Ledorotam beritolam. We remain standing for Chatzi Kaddish, middle of 46. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba v'yamad yivarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael bagala bagala u'v'zman kahariv v'yimeru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Olam Me'almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitalev V'yithalal Shemei Dekudesha Berichu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damihiran b'yalma v'meru. Amen. You'll find the silent Amidah for this evening beginning page 47, continuing through page 52. As always, feel free to use this time for your own personal thoughts and meditation to add to the words on the page. And when you're through, you are certainly welcome to be seated. Shalom Bimramav, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. V'imru Amen. You will find Kaddish Shalem over on page 54. Yitgadal v'yikdash shemei Rabba v'yamad yivrach yutev yamlich malchutev b'chaychon v'mechon v'chayedach v'Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kari v'imeru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam lo me'alma yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'termam yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha B'richu le'elam mikol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiram b'yama v'imeru Amen. Titkabal tzolotanu ton dechol Yisrael kodam avuhonu b'shemaya v'imeru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim alenu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imeru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imrobav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imeru. Amen. We're going to turn a little bit towards the back of our Siddur on page 173. On the far left side of the page on 173, you will find our prayer for healing, our Misha Berach for Cholim. Of course, the kind of healing we talk about and the kind of healing that Debbie Friedman's prayer reflects is not just a physical one, but one that includes emotional, psychological, spiritual, and certainly healing of our world. So as we join together this evening, we have our names that we will keep in our thoughts, and we can go around the room and add those names, and we certainly keep the wider world in our thoughts as well. So this evening, as we sing together our prayer for healing, we keep in our thoughts Shulamit bat Gittel, Yisraela bat Zipporah, Devorah bat Avraham Basara, Danielle Rice, Gittel Glasser, Lynn Alexander, Marjorie Morstein, Barbara Feingold, Harriet Siegel, Nadine Hyman, Irene Friedman, Gary Kramer, Francis Haber, Suzanne Gott, Joan Klepp, Estelle Rice, Susan Aller, Megan Contigno, Natalie Kogan, Bernie Rowe, Esther Wiener, Joseph Jalbert, Hannah Lipman, Peter Jacobson, Elizabeth Alfieri, Jim Hoffman, Joel Lowenstern, Bonnie Carlton, and Rivka Markowitz. Any other names to add? No? We keep all of them in our thoughts as we again turn to 173, far left, we join together. Mishe beherach avoteinu Mekor haberacha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe beherach imotenu, mekor haberacha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Refuah shlema to all in need. We turn back to page 56, and I'll ask some help from anybody in the congregation here who, I can say this, is significantly shorter than I am, and one who might be taller. That's you. That's Ben. Ben's taller than I am. This Ben's taller than I am too, isn't it? If our kids will please, I'm just going to say kids. If your kids will please come on up. No, Daniel, you get to sit this time. Daniel's been helping us out as an honorary kid. If you all will come forward and help us out by opening up the ark, open up the parochet, the curtain. We'll close the doors in just a minute. Go on up. As we rise and join together, page 56. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol v'ateit gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adam ha shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam V'anachnu kor'im u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noter shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'moshav yikara b'shamayim mima'al u'shchinatu zo b'gavhei meromim Hu Eloheinu Einod Emet Mokeinu Efes Ulato Takatu B'Torato V'yadat Tahayom V'hashevota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim Ba Shamayim Mima'al V'yaharetz mitachat einod Ha'kenikav elach Adonai Eloheinu Yotzecha Ki hamalchut shelcha hi omeatim loch bechavod kakatuv b'toratecha Adonai yimlach le'olam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz v'yom hahu yiyeh Adonai techad u'shemo echad, u'shemo echad. You are welcome to be seated. Thank you. We appreciate it very much. Daniel appreciates it. I've been recruiting him lately just to I'm working on it. All right. We turn forward in our Siddur to page 58. And thank you all for helping out. It's one of our traditions here, and so it's nice to have you guys back. Ben's been doing this for a few weeks as he moved here and has been carrying it on his own, and he's come up. Now he's got some friends to help out a little bit. So thanks, guys, for being here and helping out. You know, good to bring the grandkids, too. So as we turn to page 58, there you will find our Mourner's Kaddish. And as we recite Mourner's Kaddish this evening, we keep in our thoughts those whose yortzites occur today and in the week that is coming. Audra Whitman, Bernard Knox, Jack Yellis, Leah Heller, Julius Siegel, Rebecca Siegel, Joseph Congress, Estelle Lurie, William Waugh, Albert Rosenblum, Stanley Abrams, Sam Lefkowitz, Semi Paul, Lisa Lewis, and Sarah Lee Sunshine. All those reciting Kaddish Yaton, our Mourner's Kaddish, you're welcome to rise and join with me. Page 58. Yit Kadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah V'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute. V'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala ubizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach leolam alome omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnase. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. You are welcome to be seated. Megan on our board is my BMO buddy today. Do you want to go on the way up, or do you want to borrow this? That would be never mind. That would be excellent.
Good Shabbos, everyone. It's good to see you. The kitchen will be closed for renovations through the month. We're going to continue to have a small oneg on Friday nights and refreshments on Saturday night, along with reciting Kiddush and Motzi. High holiday volunteers are needed for door greeters and screeners. Contact that man right over there, Ed Miller, if you would like to volunteer, or Steve Arkin over there, either one. In our last newsletter, information was sent on the annual Aliyah Tzedekah Drive. We hope everyone will participate in doing this important mitzvah. You might get a phone call, just saying. The CBI board is proud to announce the Member of Distinction Award, created to recognize members who have gone above and beyond to make CBI the loving and active community it is. Please consider donating. The office will close at 12:30 on Friday, August 22nd. Welcome back Shabbat dinner will take place on August 22nd. Catch up with friends from summer vacations and meet new and prospective CBI members. There will be a brief Kabbalat Shabbat service followed by dinner. Ooh, dinner. What are we having?
Potluck.
Okay, potluck.
The kitchen should be ready, but we're going to continue.
Okay, just curious. Okay, potluck. Please bring a veggie, or if I keep reading, please bring a veggie or dairy main course or side. Fruit, dessert, and drinks will be provided. Friday, August 29th, this is very important, is 4:30 is Baseball and Brews at CBI. Former CBI or Greenville Drive Major League Baseball and Team Israel player Ryan Lavarney will share his story. His children's book will be available for purchase, and a joint CBI and TOI Kabbalat Shabbat service with baseball trivia will follow at 6 p.m. An amazing barbecue brisket, highly recommend, will conclude this evening. Reservations are only required for dinner. Dinner is $10 a person. Under 5 is free with a cap of $30 per family. The next CBI and TOI Community Blood Drive is September 14th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the CBI parking lot. You get a $30 reward for each donor and $10 congregation contribution for each donor. See the newsletter for the link or call Richard Zander. Weekly reminders, Intermediate Hebrew with Fred, Sundays at 11, those ladies over there. And Tuesday, Torah study class with Fred Leffert meets at 5:30 via Zoom. And on August 18th, Richard Zadkoff has a birthday. So if you see him, tell him happy birthday. That is it.
I'm not giving out too much candy. I had a swing of giving candy for a while. Oh, no Fred classes Tuesday? Okay, got it. Is he here tomorrow? Sure hope so. He's not here tomorrow? Okay. Okay. That's good to know. I hope he's here tomorrow because I didn't hear to the contrary. So, oh yeah, never know. You walk in and gonna happen. We'll see. Anyway, with that, we're going to go into the back. We do have a nice little nosh and with some sweets and some challah and wine and grape juice at least. So we will do that together. And thank you all for helping to make a minyan, being here, even on a very rainy. And have you noticed that when we started, that the thunder went away? I didn't see any flashes of light, though. Did you see any? Did you hear any thunder? No. See, we parted the skies. Right? We did something right as we brought in Shabbat. So just come and join us in the back, and we will do a little Kiddush and Motzi together back there with a little nosh. I hope you'll end with me with a little bit of bim bam Shabbat Shalom as we conclude. Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat Shalom, hey Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And if you didn't notice, the accordion doors work. Sort of. Yeah, they do. They do. They do. They're working. Uh-oh, we surprised Harold. They got fixed. Yeah. The